Articulate, 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 articulate. Yeah. Me solo to the core, so you know how we next. Migration merge, turn it into TX. Post it on my X and see the haters vexed. Spread them FUD all day just because I'm stressed. TTX, from the CEX to the DEX. Tokenize X, yeah, you know what we next. RWA stocks and ETF smart tokens. Tokens ownership regs, that's a flex. Compliance, liquidity like sending a text. PSC every month like digital checks. The operating system to tokenize X. TX, 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 TX. Me solo to the core, so you...
All right, TX RWA ecosystem April 3 through 10. The TX ecosystem sustained disciplined execution this week, reinforcing its positioning as a US headquartered operating system for compliant tokenized real world assets built on enterprise grade infrastructure with native regulatory alignment. TX integrates issuance, trading, settlement, and liquidity within a unified stack. Following the March 6, 2026 launch, merging the Sologenic and Corium ecosystems on the TX token, the platform has prioritized regulated product expansion. This includes tokenized US equities and ETFs via Texture Capital, alongside broader asset classes such as real estate, commodities, and yield-bearing instruments. This week's activities centered on post-announcement execution, with progress across marketplace integrations, DeFi infrastructure, and ecosystem-level engagement. Most notably, the activation of cruise control and Lendor marks a meaningful expansion in the on-chain capital efficiency. First, yield effects integration continues to build momentum. The April 2nd announcement of Yield FX upcoming marketplace listing remained a focal point throughout the week. YieldFX introduces tokenized interest-bearing fiat deposits, USD, Euro, and the selected emerging market currencies, backed by regulated and insured bank accounts. These instruments combine verifiable custody, native yield generation, and 24/7 on-chain liquidity. Positioned as a solution for money at rest, YieldFX directly addresses institutional demand for secure yield with programmable access. Market participants highlighted several strategic implications: enablement of FX carry strategies on-chain, increased secondary market liquidity depth, and expanded global participation in compliant RWA markets. This integration extends TX's yield stack beyond equities via Texture Capital, reinforcing a multi-asset, fully regulated framework. DeFi layer activation, cruise control, and Lendor. A defining development this week was rapid deployment of TX native lending and borrowing infrastructure. Lendor April 7 public alpha. Lendor launched its lending and borrowing markets with immediate support for core assets TX, USDC, Cozy, and Sarah. Key components: Lendor wallet, smart routing across cruise control and Posara liquidity, unified dashboard, position tracking, health monitoring, asset overview, streamlined onboarding via integrated documentation. Lendor functions as a user-facing aggregation layer, optimizing execution and reducing friction. Cruise Control April 8th official launch. Core features produce a protocol-level lending primitive with transparent accounting and deterministic risk controls with support for TX, MART, Cozy, and USDC. Core features: lending borrowing, collateralized capital deployment, clearly defined collateral parameters and liquidation thresholds, early liquidity provider performance exceeding 200% APR in selected pairs, example XRP and TX pair, driven by staking rewards and utilization. System level implication: the two protocols operate as a complementary stack. Cruise control liquidity engine and economic primitive, Lendor access layer and execution interface. Lendor's direct routing into cruise control liquidity underscores an interoperable architecture prioritizing capital market efficiency and user experience over competitive fragmentation. Both protocols remain fully aligned with TX's compliance-first ISO 20022 compatible framework, extending DeFi functionality without compromising regulatory integrity. MART, a utility expansion through DeFi integration. DeFi activation translated directly into increased utility for MART, the ecosystem Edgymeme token, rapid deployment into cruise controls, lending markets, emergence of MART TX as a yield generating pair, integration with Fatium Oracle infrastructure for real time pricing. This reflects a broader dynamic within TX. Mematic SX paired with institutional grade financial primitives reinforcing both engagement and utility. TX market structure and technical context. Within the broader RWA landscape, TX remains positioned as a utility driven infrastructure asset. Market cap 37.8 to the 38 million, circulating supply 3.1 billion, sector context of an part of an 8.8 billion RWA protocol market segment on CoinGecko. Price action 7-day range 0.124 to 0.01247. Spot 0.0121. 24-hour change 1 to 2% up. That was at the time that I took the snapshot. We could check it right now. And this should be the RWA protocol by market cap on CoinGecko. As you can see, it's up to $8.933 billion, which is 2.8% up on the day with 539 million dollars trading volume. Having a pretty green day, and you can see TX right here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's in 8th position, up 7.7% on the week. So this is the current chart performance. 24-hour volume $184,000, sorry. All right, there we go. So price behavior reflects post-launch consolidation following the March 6 all-time high of 0.03778. Technical observations. Potential double bottom on lower time frames. Emerging Adam and Eve reversal structure contingent on holding 0.00945 support, strengthening on-chain utility metrics driven by DeFi integrations. Positioning remains fundamentally anchored, with price acting as a proxy for ecosystem adoption rather than purely speculative momentum. Broader ecosystem context. Additional signals this week include continued refinement of reward systems, early stage institutional onboarding discussions, sustained visibility of TX within RWA sector narratives. Macro conditions remain supportive, including expansion of RWA total value locked across compliant platforms, increasing regulatory clarity in key jurisdictions. These trends align with TX's US first institutionally oriented strategy. Outlook. This week reflects infrastructure compounding across the TX ecosystem. Yield effects expands regulated yield and liquidity primitives. Cruise control and Lendor establish a functional DeFi capital layer. Aggregation via Lendor wallet enhances access and execution efficiency. As TX transitions from initial launch to scaled adoption, the convergence of bank-backed financial products, native DeFi infrastructure, tokenized asset expansion, positions the ecosystem as a credible end-to-end platform for programmable capital markets. Execution remains consistent, compliance first, modular, and institutionally aligned. And the disclaimer: this week in TX is an independent community recap series tracking the development across the TX operating system and tokenized RWA marketplace. Curated by Grok, you could follow these accounts here. This is a presentation of Smart Meme, which is an edu meme project on top of the TX blockchain. Recently lost the page, but we bounced back to 84 followers on a brand new page within less than a week. That's where you could find us. So until next time, you could go check out smartmemetoken.com as well to learn more about the TX ecosystem and what role edgy memes play in the TX ecosystem where the asset is marked. Right, so check it out. Check out tx.org to learn more about the ecosystem developments, the partnerships, sponsorships, events they're going to be at, etc. All the latest. We could dive into issuers and stuff another day. This is just a test stream. All right. So thank you guys for joining in. And I hope that next time I could do a much better job. All right. Until then, catch you on the next one.
Articulate, articulate, yeah. Me solo to the core, so you know how we next. Migration merge, turn it into TX. Post it on my X and see the haters vex. Spread them FUD all day just because them stressed. TTX, from the CEX to the DEX. Tokenize X, yeah, you know what we next. RWA stocks and ETF. Smart tokens ownership regs, that's a flex. Compliance, liquidity like sending a text. PSC every month like digital checks. The operating system to tokenize X. TX, me solo to the core.